Hello, I'm DeDe. For this 30-minute seated session, we'll do some fancy footwork as a means to challenge our brains and our bodies to develop better mind-body connection as well as better balance. We'll also do some mobility and flexibility stretches toward the end to keep us more mobile. Here's what you'll need: a sturdy armless chair, some athletic shoes, some water for hydration, plenty of space around your chair. You'll also need to give yourself permission to skip something or do something different if something I'm suggesting doesn't feel right for you. You can also take one of my options. So let's come to seated if you're not already there. Nice and tall, away from the back of the chair, legs in line with hip joints, feet are even and straight, and we'll sit up so our head, shoulders, and hips are all in one line. Now we take the right shoulder forward and back, and the left shoulder forward and back. When you pull your shoulder back, open your chest. Can we try that with both shoulders at the same time? Forward and back. Last 4. One more. Now let your arms hang down, swivel your hands around, and we'll take a deep breath in. Hello, Prissy. Open, inhale, exhale, palms together. One more. All right, now inhale, one arm goes down, one arm goes up, and then switch. Starting to warm up our shoulders a little bit more. And then we'll go a little further out to the side, like this. Bend your elbow as it goes up if you need to for comfort, and then rest one hand on the seat of the chair. Oh, what's the matter, Prissy? Now we inhale, both arms come out, and then we twist and exhale, look over your shoulder, and then switch. Four more like this. Warming up through the waist, some of the torso muscles, and the neck. Now we hip hinge forward, so we inhale, hands on the legs, exhale, hinge forward. Keep the straight shape through your back. Sometimes it's helpful to think about this. Keep your abdomen long, and then you know you're probably not rounding your back, at least not through your lower back. Now we sit all the way up, roll your shoulders back and down, and do it again, back and down. Now you can hold on to the chair if you want. Tap your toes. Right, left, and left. So we're going to be doing, as I said a few moments ago, some fancy footwork. So of course we have to warm up through our feet and our ankles and our lower legs. And that's what we're doing here. Now tap out and in. Tap out, in, out, in. Now your whole leg moves a little bit, but we're trying to emphasize the lifting and the lowering of the toes. I can already start to feel this in the tops of my feet and through my shins. How about you? Now come back to center, right and left toe taps, faster this time. Let your arms go if you don't need to hold on. You can always hold on if you need to. So as your toes go up, your opposite arm comes forward. Now 3 taps and pause. 2, 3, pause. 2, 3, pause. So this is an example of some of the stuff we're going to get into. This isn't super fancy, not yet, but we're still just warming up. Now let's alternate our heels. So it looks like this: right heel, left heel, right heel, left heel. A little bit of a side lean with your torso is good. And if you don't need to hold on, then we can go back to some arms like this. Lift your heel up as high as you can. Now go faster. Right heel, left heel. Now 1, 2, 3 and pause. 1, 2, 3 and pause. 1, 2, 3 and pause. So now we have our whole body involved. Even though we're sitting, everything is involved. Legs and arms and torso, neck, even our head is in motion a little bit. Now both heels down. Let's go up on both sets of tiptoes. Lift. And then we're pushing down with the hands. That's helping us warm up even more through our shoulders, arms, legs, and core. So you're pushing down without elevating your shoulders. And you're lifting your heels up. 2 more. Now hold the chair, lift your right knee up and your left knee up and down, up and down. Now when your knee goes up, make sure you don't collapse backward like this. Okay, so pull your back ribs into your body, keep them pulled into your body. Now, what if we take opposite hand across? So we're going to get into some arm and leg things that are asymmetrical. So what one is doing is different than what the other is doing. And that's part of our brain fitness in our session. Let's go faster. 1 and 2. How about a little twist? Now, if you don't need to hold on with one hand, then you can take both hands here. So here's a little bit more brain fitness. If it's comfortable for you, your arms go down as your knee goes up. Now, if that's confusing, or anything that we do is confusing during this session, you can go back to something that we did earlier that was easier for you, not as confusing. So that could be here, that could be here, or that could be here if you're okay with it. Now both feet down. Let's roll the shoulders up, back, then down, and one more. Hold the chair, tap your right heel forward and in, and your left heel forward and in. So we're using quite a bit of the tops of our thighs and our hip flexors, which are right here in our hip creases, a little bit below, a little bit above. But we're going to stretch those out later. If you need to rest though, you don't have to lift your foot off the ground. For example, here, you can slide your foot. You can always take a quick break if you need to. Now, how about opposite arm? Forward, forward. Now, how about extending your leg without touching your heel down? Try it. Keep your back ribs pulling into your body. That keeps you up nice and tall. How about both arms? So we're still moving slow, which means there's more time under tension for our muscles, which can lead to greater strength, which can help us be more stable and better balanced. Now back this up to something easier. We're going to go faster now. So easier if you need it. Otherwise, just go full out right here. Keep breathing. Go back to your opposite arm. Now go back to the knee and touch. So this is faster. You can slow it down if you like. Now we'll start to step our feet out a little wider. Keep sitting up. Now the feet are wide, we tap in, tap out. Tap in, tap out, and the left, in, out. And the right, two more. Now, wide stance. Let's hold it here. Inhale, hands on the legs, straight and tall. Exhale, forward. Again. Make sure your feet are able to support the weight of your forward hinge. Now we twist, and one shoulder drops down. Turn your chest, turn your head, so you're looking side. So we did a little bit of the, quote, fancy footwork. We have some more coming up. Are you starting to feel warmed up? You feel ready for a little bit more? Two more. One more. All right, now we take this left foot over here to the right, and then we open, and the right foot goes over to the left, and we open. Can we bring the arm along with the leg around, and open, and switch, around, and open, switch. Now my hips are turning. Are your hips turning? Turn them if you can. Can we go a little faster? Let's try. To one side, open. To the other side, open. Now, instead of just stepping, I'd like to try a little bit of a syncopated jump. So that looks like this. Watch first, hold the chair, over, open, over, open, over, open, over, open, over, or open over. So any of these tempos will work. So the reason it's called syncopated, you may know this already, is because it doesn't go exactly with the downbeat of the music. It's a little faster, a little outside the downbeat, but that's part of our fancy. Can we add the arm? So the arm goes in the same direction as the leg. 1, 2, 1, 2. So you can still hold with one hand onto the chair. How about both arms? Are you comfortable doing that? Remember not to do it if you don't feel comfortable. I don't know about you, but my chair is going to be polished and shiny by the time we're done. If you're on a fabric chair, you might be starting to build a little bit of heat because of the friction. Hopefully no electrostatic charge is happening. No static electricity. All right, open your knees up. Let's inhale, sit up tall, hands on the legs. Exhale, straight forward and down. Straight back. Like I said a moment ago, keeping your abdomen long. That's a good indicator that you're not rounding. One more. All right, now we'll start with our feet back in again, right here. Now we're going to take the feet out, out, in, then we'll alternate lead feet each time. Start with your right, out, out, in, now the left, out, out, in, now the right. You got it? So this is syncopated, right? Because it's not exactly with the beat. So you can add some arms or not. A little bit of brain fitness here. You got to remember which leg we're doing. We're alternating each time. If you want more challenge, straighten your arms. If you want even more challenge for your balance, turn your head. All of those are options. I think I'm keeping up with the lead foot. Now we stop. Tap the toes. Move the shoulders. Now, kind of like a march. A little bit of rock from side to side, like you're walking quickly. Faster now. Tap, 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 tap. One, two. 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, and then we stop. Roll your shoulders back and down. Now for this next move, we have to have our hands on the front corners of the seat of the chair. And here's something else that I want to really emphasize. We're leaning forward for this. The tendency is to lean back, so make sure you don't. So press your hands into the front corners of the chair and then shuffle your feet, shuffle, shuffle. Now I'm lifting my feet up a little bit. They're still kind of grazing the floor. You can totally slide your feet on the floor like this. You don't have to lift them so they're lightly grazing the floor like I am. Now can we do it in sets of 3 moves like this? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, are you leaning forward? Lean toward me. push your hands down. Try not to elevate your shoulders. Pushing down with the hands, leaning forward. Both of those things help engage our core muscles better, especially some of our abdominal muscles. One more. And stop. All right. Separate your feet. Inhale, sitting up. On the exhale, lean over to the right. And then switch. And over to the left. And then come back to center. Shoulders are down. Press your palms together. We'll go side to side here. So if you were really leaning forward and pressing down with your hands, then that creates a little bit of compression on our wrists. So we want to give it a little stretch here. All right, and then some circles through the wrist. All the way around both directions. All right, let's bring the feet back in. Now we're going to jump the feet out and in. Doesn't matter which foot is leading, and you're holding onto the chair. Now remember what we did in the warm-up where we went up on our tiptoes and we resisted? We're going to do that next. So out, in, tiptoes, resist, and down. Do it again. Out, in, tiptoes, resist, and again. Out, in, resist. Now I'm showing this holding the chair every time you go out, and in, but you don't have to. You can keep your hands on your legs. A little more balance challenge that way. So I'm leading off with my right foot. Which one were you using? We'll do two more. One more. Whichever one you're using for your lead foot, we're going to switch to the other one now. So I'm going to go left first. Left, resist. Breathing in and out, even as you're resisting. If we hold our breath while we're resisting like this, that tends to elevate the blood pressure temporarily, but it elevates it. And we don't want to do that. We want to do good things for our blood pressure. Out, in, resist, and breathe. Four more. Last two now. Last time resisting. All right, now hold on to your elbows, shoulders down, hinge forward, straight spine, hold here. All right, next up, as promised, we're going to stretch our hip flexors. We're going to do a seated lunge. If you've done my sessions before, you know this is one of my favorite stretches to do from a chair. All right, help yourself up. Even if I'm not doing exercise in a chair, frequently I will sit in a chair just to do this lunge. That's how much I like it. So from a wide stance, turn this way, and then we'll drop our bottom knee directly under our hip, and our front knee is here over our ankle. And if you're comfortable there, then consider wiggling your back foot back a little bit so you can straighten your back knee, and that will create even more stretch right here. Now push your heel back, pull your front ribs in, and relax your shoulders. So we'll just sit for a moment. So part of flexibility work is breathing, feeling what you're doing, so feeling what you're creating in the stretch, and being patient. So we're going to do all of those things right now. Just sit and breathe and feel. If you can feel what you're doing, you know you're doing the right amount if it doesn't hurt, or if you don't feel much. If you pay attention, you can do just the right amount. All right, let's relax and we'll go around to the other side. So hold the chair, keep your wide stance if you can, turn, find your knee and your other knee, and then if you're comfortable doing it, move your back foot back. I'm wiggling mine because my foot doesn't slide very well on the floor. You can slide yours back if it slides pretty easily. And then push your heel back, draw the ribs in, relax the shoulders, and we'll stay here. So remember, being patient, and that means staying in the stretch for a while. They say 30 seconds is a good amount of time to stay in a stretch, maybe even longer than that. But 5 minutes, maybe that's excessive. Probably don't need to spend all your day stretching. All right, and then we're coming around to the front. Slide to the front edge of your chair, move your feet forward. Make sure your feet are forward and they're back to hip joint distance. Now straighten one leg, flex your foot, and hinge forward. You can have your hands on your legs, or if you can get down there comfortably without rounding your back, forearm, and then your hand can come down. Can you feel that down the back of your leg? I sure can. That's a hamstring cap stretch. Hands on your legs, press yourself up and switch. Pull your toes back toward you. That helps you get more cap stretch. And then here we go with a straight back, hand or forearm. Hands on your legs, help yourself up. Now we're not going to scoot back yet, we're just going to bend the knees. Reach around to the back of the chair, hold the back of the chair, slide your hands up as high as you can, and watch, pull your shoulder blades back to really open your chest, and then see if you can lean your chest forward a bit more. Feel the stretch across your chest, but also through the fronts of your shoulders. Breathe into the stretch. And then release that. Now we scoot back, about halfway back on the seat of the chair. Move your feet back, walk your ankles and knees together. Now cross your ankle over your ankle, or your ankle over your knee like this. Level out your hips and your shoulders. Lengthen through the crown of your head up and see if you can lean forward a bit. Now, if you're doing this variation where your ankle is up on top of your knee, then you can add an ankle circle. If you're down here, you can lift your foot and do your ankle circle. Make sure you circle in both directions. All right, now we're sitting up and switching sides. Ankles and knees together, and then cross your ankles, or ankle over knee. Level everything out. Lift up through the crown. And then if it feels good, lean forward. And then we'll find the ankle circle. That feels so nice. Our ankles sustain a lot of compression in an average day, all of our body weight, and depending on what we're doing, 2 or 3 times our body weight if we're going downstairs quickly or jumping or... So we got to show our ankles a little bit of love, right? All right, let's take both feet down. Make a fist. Now bring the little finger side of your fists right next to your hips here. Shoulder blades down your back and then elbows disappear behind you. And then release. Roll the shoulders. All right, so I hope you enjoyed our fancy footwork. I hope you were able to challenge your body and your brain. As usual, thank you for joining me. And until next time, be well.